production.
Whether your radio dial is set to music or news or talk, each could be offensive.
But when it comes to making waves on the air, dicey language and spicy topics are turning up all over the dial. If you're not a regular to this type of radio, here's a word of caution. You may find it explicit. You decide if Tampa Bay Radio is blaring out airwaves or shockwaves. Turn on your radio and find wholesome family entertainment. Turn on your radio today and make your mother blush. Almost nothing is sacred these days when it comes to radio, except not losing the station's license. Radio personalities are pushing all the limits. You may find the language in this story explicit, but the Federal Communications Commission has never fined a Tampa Bay radio station. You be the judge. Are they airwaves or shockwaves?
I don't agree with all of it, but it's very popular.
Personnel, this is CVTS. Space Vehicle Pre-Count Operations will start on my mark at 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is the Homemade Broadcast. It is the 10th of January, 2024. Welcome to the live stream. If you are listening live, now joining me, the one, the only, Anna Hubble!
I didn't realize how bad my hair looked. I'm sorry.
Oh, great. It looks really, really good.
I haven't looked at a mirror in like 8 hours.
I gotta tell you, one of the things that I really always admire about you is you don't put a high emphasis on how you look. You are a radio person. You know that, like, you are like radio people. They remain notoriously bad dressers. They wear no shoes. They come in, they take their shoes off. They got long toenails. They don't get haircuts very often. Basketball shorts, no undies, just basketball shorts. And for a woman in radio, I feel like it's a little more competitive because I feel like there's some sort of obligation to look semi-presentable. And you look presentable, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to say you look terrible, because you don't. Your hair's a little frizzy. I think that's fair. And it's not like it's 6 a.m. It's 7 p.m.
Yeah, man, I've been rolling around, getting, choked out and stuff. I'm just a little crazy. I just didn't even think to, because in my mind, I'm like, oh, we're doing the podcast. And
yeah.
I forget that there's a visual component, and then I come out
that looks
crazy.
Really good. I love it. And this is why people, if you're listening on Radio St. Pete, or if you check out the podcast, you should come over and join us over at willsyoutube.com. A new time, 7 p.m. on Wednesdays is when Anna Hummel and I do this show now. And you miss the visual component. I mean, I look great. Anna looks great. Why are we doing visual?
I mean, I get why people want to see us. It just kind of adds an extra element of, it's a more personal when you can see the person talking, and it kind of makes it funnier and more engaging, but also like it doesn't do me any favors is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess we could put in the effort and put some hair gel in and, shave from, whatever, but no, not doing that. So
it is a point of contention on a every other day basis at my job that I look bad. And it's funny because you would think with just one conversation, any normal woman would be like, oh my God, I can't be going to work, people are calling me ugly. I don't care. I just don't care. I got up today at 5:02 a.m. and I was out the door at 5:16 a.m. So if you do the math, that's 14 minutes from up, dressed, brushed teeth, coffee, out the door, that quick. So the thought of the lights bright and I'm putting on eyeliner, it makes me sick. Why would I do that to myself? It's just putting poison paint on my face. I rarely ever wear makeup anymore, Will. And to be honest with you, it's very freeing, very liberating.
Yeah, I feel like probably since, COVID and people be able to add the filters to their Zoom meetings, etc. I don't feel like there's as much of a need for it. I I don't really like a lot of makeup on ladies. Maybe some light touch, but it's
Yeah.
fraud. Really, at the end of the day, it's fraud
It,
because
it sure is, yeah. And you know what's great when you look kind of gross most of the time? If you just put a little mascara on. When I come to the studio and I just wear like like a lady's shirt instead of just like an oversized bag over me and a little bit mascara, people are like, are you a model? I'm like, no, dude, I'm just wearing girls' clothes. So you set that bar so low that if you just take one step over it, people are very impressed with you.
yeah,
So.
I don't think guys can do that. I don't think there's any thing that a guy can do really to make that happen.
Yeah, usually it's just facial hair, which is not like you can just throw that on you. And also every once in a while, like a guy in a nice like fitted suit that looks real sharp. That's a good look.
I
So.
love that, but you have to have a certain body type. Like I have to go to a wedding this weekend, so I am making sure my clothes fit. At least good enough.
Yeah, I know you were doing like a fashion show last week with yourself, throwing
Yeah.
everything out that's too small.
Yep. So I did that, and I looked, I looked terrible. I thought, oh, you put a nice shirt on, you get like a jacket. Like I like a dude who's kind of like has the aviator glasses on. He's got like a nice white, crisp, pressed white shirt, dress, not even
I
like a
just
tie
see
or
Joe
anything.
Biden in my head when you say aviators. So now he's ruined that image for me. But go ahead. Sorry. White
Yeah.
shirt and then like fitted slacks.
Fitted slacks, like a nice belt with like a gold buckle on it, type of thing, like small, not like a Texas belt.
Okay, not
Like
like a cowboy.
no,
Okay.
just like a little accent on the buckle,
Okay.
leather belt. But I had that exact thing on, and I looked like Chris Christie in
Ooh.
it. Not good. It was not good. When you have the belly, I'm being a little extreme. I'm
Dude,
not.
if you see that guy wear shorts,
Oh, brutal. Yeah,
it's
it's
like
really.
he's like it's just the equator. You know what I mean?
It's a
He's just
weird.
a globe. He's Mother Earth. I don't know.
He is usually like people store their weight in different places. And like I store a lot of my weight in my upper legs and then obviously my belly. But even it goes into my back. Like Chris Christie, it's all his belly.
It's all belly.
He just has this weird belly. And I guess he's got these weird legs too, because I have seen him in the shorts.
Yeah, it's not even that. It's because the pants go up to his almost said the T word up to his breasts, and it's just way too high for pants. And he's got the grossest body. But yeah, he has a really odd like fat distribution on his body. It all congregates, or at least it looks that way. That he's like the Kool-Aid man. It's just not a good look.
Yeah, rotund, I think is what you call it.
Yes, very round.
Yeah, luckily, I mean, like I can wear shorts because I got good calves. Luckily, and like my calves are cut, so I look good in the shorts. I wouldn't want to do like a 7-inch inseam though. That would be.
Is that I'm trying to think of like where that would land on your leg, mid thigh.
A few inches above the knee, yeah, on the thigh.
You don't want a mammal toe.
No.
You don't want it too tight, but also you can't have it too loose because that looks weird.
Right.
So
it doesn't look good on me. Like that's where I hold a lot of my weight is my upper legs. So it doesn't. I've tried. It's just I got to wear a little bit of longer short, but if I do, fine. Shirts can be an issue. Dress shirts in particular because you've got to tuck it in. You got to tuck in.
Yeah.
And then you're tucking in, like for me, because I got the ladies' love handles, they go all the way around to my back, and it's just like this weird. It's an unfortunate body shape that I have to put.
Is your butt crack really high? I remember you complaining about this.
You know what I think it is? It is, and I have this problem all the time because my love handles in the back will push down my underwear and shorts. So I don't think I really have a high butt crack. I think it's just I have love handles there, and it pushes the elastic down. You see?
Oh,
so it's terrible. It's a terrible affliction to have. And I know a lot of people out there have it. So it is called the high butt crack. Clinically.
Yeah.
Clinically, but I think it's just like being fat is really
Yeah, that's
and
the
holding it.
real
Yeah,
real condition is just obesity.
yeah,
So
and holding it holding it in unfortunate places,
it's a
and
branch of obesity called high ass crack. Yeah.
that's where I hold mine. So it's
Mm.
tough. And then getting that dress shirt, you kind of have to. I can't look sexy, like I said, like the slacks, the belt buckle, just a white shirt that's opened a little bit, like these
Mhm.
two buttons are open
Mhm.
here, and then you're kind of got your sleeves rolled up a little bit. That looks great. That's a great look on a guy. I think that's the best that you could probably do, but I can't do it. Unfortunately, I
Yeah.
can't. And so I'm gonna have to wear a jacket. I might have to go buy a jacket this
What about
weekend.
that suit you always wear? You've worn it to like every holiday party / wedding. I thought.
Don't
Does
fit.
it?
I got rid of it. I got
Have
rid of
you? I hate asking you this because I feel like it's rude, especially so soon after the holidays. But have you weighed yourself recently?
it. I haven't.
Okay. Are
I
you
just
scared?
know scared. No, I'm not scared. I just know it's not good. You
Right.
know what I mean? I just know it's bad.
If you were to
So
ballpark it, I think you were sitting at what, like 230 before?
yeah,
You think
I'd
you're up to like 250 or 245?
say I'm probably 250 right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sucks. Sucks bad.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to do the right things, but I
Are
mean,
you?
I'm trying. I'm trying to do them.
I
I'm not
know.
like succeeding, but
No,
I'm
you're
trying.
not. But you have been on a lot of vacations lately, and I just feel like, and you can also put that alcohol away, man. And God only knows what kind of decisions you're making when you're drinking, and yeah,
Well, it's a good drinker now, and I know what my limits are. Like, oh, okay, having a little too much here. Otherwise, I will make a pizza, eat
yeah,
it. Usually, just go time for bed now. Go to
yeah.
bed. So
You
I have
really enjoy the feeling of being drunk, don't you?
that.
Right?
Is this intervention?
No, no, because it's like I feel like I enjoy it less now
Okay.
than I used to. And maybe it's because I don't know if it's because I'm drinking less, so I have like a lower tolerance. This is what I'm saying. I don't mind being drunk, but usually if I'm drinking, it like gives me gastro issues. Maybe it's the carbonation of whatever BS seltzer I'm drinking. I don't drink beer, so I don't have to worry about that. If I'm drinking like anything with carbonation, even if it's like soda water, I'm getting like not bubble guts, but I'm just not feeling my best. So I feel like I've now associated that with like, oh, my tummy's gonna hurt. So I don't know. Maybe it's an age thing. Maybe it's I'm out of the drinking game thing. And when I try to dabble in it here and there, it doesn't work. So I don't know.
Let me I'm trying to rationalize this a little bit because I feel like predominantly I would say 95% of the time if I'm drinking, it's just like a whiskey and it's neat. There's no ice in it. There's no
Just straight up.
straight up just out of a bottle, and it's usually something a little nicer. It's not like, just Jim Beam or something. I feel like it's a little what's the right word here? A little more classy, a little bit easier to control. It's not obviously whiskey has calories in it. I know that. But way less, you need way less, to feel the effects than you do
You know what it
beer.
is? You're consuming less volume. So if you
Wait,
were to put that in a glass of even soda water or whiskey sour, whatever, like now you're drinking what? I don't know anything in the metric system. This what is this? Okay, this is 16 ounces. Let's say 12 ounces. You're having a 12-ounce drink versus like a 30 milliliters. Yeah.
I'm asking for 2 ounces here. Yeah, that's
Okay.
like
Right. So you're just consuming less volume. And yeah, obviously it's more diluted when you have drinks. I feel like you can maybe, I don't want to say control it better, but kind of. But also I think it's a better idea just to drink it straight up, no extra sugar.
yeah.
And I feel like you won't get as bloated as quick.
Yeah, the beer will really get you. Like even the
Yeah.
light beers, I'm sure the whiskey's getting me too, don't get me wrong, but I don't know. I just feel like it's not as bad.
No, certainly not. Because think about like a whiskey sour and like what that is, which I
Yeah.
don't even know. Just like sour is like soda. It's soda,
Whiskey
but it's like
and sugar.
Sugar, you're right. It just carbonated water with syrup in it. So yeah. No, I think it's the way to go. What you're doing, and it's definitely more of a classy, refined way of drinking. Unlike me, who has like 6 high noons, and I might have a headache. I'm bloated. I'm a little gassy. Like it's just bad.
There is a good amount of whiskey drinkers that I notice that are kind of fat. Like even if they're not obese, like they got guts, and I think that's from the sugar and alcohol.
Of the whiskey drinkers?
Yeah.
What do you mean? Like I feel like you've branded yourself as like you only drink whiskey, right? You don't drink anything else ever?
No, I will, but I would say 90% of the time if I'm drinking, it's probably just whiskey. That's what I prefer. So I feel like I guess there are some, but I don't know what their consumption level is. You know, it's like every day. Like lately, since the holidays, I've been drinking every day, which I will not be doing in a few weeks. I'm just kind of
in a few weeks.
Yeah. Start that new thing, and
the new year. You're gonna start the new year in March.
Yeah, that's the plan. That's the plan. It's just, I'm moving, I'm doing stuff, I'm rationalizing.
I'm like, what? I'm moving, so I need to be wasted.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't understand the logic here.
I feel like this is an intervention now. I don't need one yet.
Listen, I like you just the way that you are. I'm just intrigued. I think it's more that I'm impressed, like how functional you are while being so drunk.
Well, thank you. I think I don't know if that's a compliment or not.
It's a compliment. Yeah. There's only been one time where I knew that you were messed up, and that's because I had 0 alcohol to drink. And I was like, oh, but because I'm always like drunker than you, or like appearing my manifest drunker than you, that I never noticed because I'm always like, Will's straight as an arrow. But I did see a chink in your armor, but I had to be 100% sober to see it. You know what I mean?
When was that?
It was when my buddy Rahul came to visit. It was your buddy Zach was in town. We went to Janice Landing. You don't recall the night, so I'm not expecting you to remember seeing me.
No, I do remember.
Met up with your girlfriend, Zach, some other guy. We took lots of pictures together.
Yep, I do remember that. Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I remember.
Yeah.
Most of it. Most of it. So this is the homemade broadcast. This is Anna Hummel. My name's Will Kuntz, and today we're going to be talking about an assortment of things. I was just kind of looking through the prep right now to see. First of all, can I ask you? I know that you probably did see it, and I don't know what to make of it. The Jew tunnels.
I knew you were going to bring that up. I just was like always going to talk about the goddamn Hamas tunnel in Williamsburg. I don't know. Everyone's been asking me about it. Like I am their goddamn spokesperson. I don't know. This is news to me too. Okay. I don't know. I don't know why they're hiding underground. I have some suspicions. Things aren't good above ground. That's when you go underground. So I don't know, but they seem to really like their tunnels. They do not want them to be filled up with cement. And to be honest, I don't really blame them.
What? So my buddy calls me, Zach, actually yesterday, because he's stupid. So he's like, what's going, like, if he's curious, but he's dumb and he doesn't really know or doesn't care that much. But if he cares about something, he's like, I'll ask Will. I know he's at least heard about this thing.
Yeah.
So he goes, hey, what's up with the tunnels? And I went, I don't know. I've looked at many, just basically online on Twitter and stuff, and it seems like it's either like really anti-Semitic stuff, or people talking about how these were freedom fighters from the COVID lockdown days where they built these tunnels underground in New York City so they could worship and leave their house. But then I see things that it's like 6 months ago that these things were built. Then they're pulling out like soiled mattresses out of the tunnels, and people are, there's some stuff that's being said online that's not very nice about like trafficking of children or something like that. And I have no idea what the hell to make of it.
Alex Stein, you're familiar with this person?
Yes.
We had him on our show today, and he was like, apparently like maybe a year ago or something, there was some guy in New York City who was saying that like he was hearing like Yiddish at night.
Yeah.
Like hearing people speaking Yiddish, and they're like, that's an anti-Semitic conspiracy theory. What the hell? And then like a year later, there's these underground tunnels filled with Jews. I honestly don't know. When I read the headline, it was one of those like underground tunnels, like fight brawl with police because the Jews don't want you to fill the tunnels. I was like, what the? Let's go. Yeah, I don't know. This reminds me of like, this is some Vietnam sort of yeah, I don't
What a bizarre time.
yeah,
Is
it's
it?
not. I don't know if you're familiar with pre and during World War II propaganda against Jews, but they were often called like rats.
Yes, yeah,
You
of
know,
course.
that's not a good look for that Jew right there, coming
No.
out of the
This
manhole pipe. Yeah,
this is a few days into 2024. This will be the meme of the year for 2024. Like a few days in, which is wild. This
Yeah.
guy coming out of the tunnel and then running away, scurrying away. Apparently, they were all over the city. It's there's obviously some building code violations
Like
there.
rats.
It's there's some issues with potential structural things, and the police went in there and tried to just like dump cement in these things, and they flipped out. I don't know, man. I have no idea.
Protection? I mean, I don't know. But could you imagine the guy that's taking that video? I imagine he's not a Hasidic Jew. He's just like, yo, dude, I just saw this Jew pop out of a hole. It's freaking me out. They're pretty aggressive.
It's so strange. But like, will nobody go ask them like what's going on?
No one speaks Yiddish but them, Will. So
yeah, but the
kidding.
ones in New York, even the Hasids, they speak English, right?
I know.
Okay. I mean, I didn't know. I assumed that they did.
No, they do. They speak English. But I don't know. I'm assuming it's for protection. It certainly doesn't look good for us, for our team here.
Protection from what?
I don't know, especially with like all this anti-Semitic stuff. I don't know if it's just like they feel like they're going to have to like hide, like the end is coming, the second Holocaust, because you have to think about like the Hasidic Jews and the history there and why they're so strict. And if you decide to, have a regular job as a woman or do all the rituals, you're completely shunned by the community. Like your parents disown you and everything. And the reason why is because they need the numbers back. They lost, obviously there were 6 million Jews that were killed during the Holocaust, but the Hasidic population was especially hit hard. Like, I don't know the numbers, but it was, I don't know, 50, 60, maybe more, 70% of their population. So they really try to, there's a strong sense of like, we need to be with our kind and continue the traditions of our culture and our religion. And I feel like they're just paranoid, man. They don't want another Holocaust. They see what's going on and they're just like, dude, we got to go. When they go high, we go underground. So that's what's going on there. That would be my guess.
Okay. So you're not saying anything nefarious.
I mean, I don't know if the building the tunnels breaks any code violations. I'm sure it does, but I don't think it's like a secret cabal and they're plotting. I mean, you have to think they got to take like a day and a half off for the Sabbath. They have too many restrictions to be so controlling. You know what I mean?
That's what's so incredible about the tunnels is that they said they were built, obviously some people were saying that these were COVID regulation tunnels, which I would have been like, okay, that kind of makes sense. But then they're time dating it at 6 months, which you go, okay, well, that was what was 6 months ago, June. So it seems like they got a lot of work done too in a few months.
You think they just built this in 6 months, or has this been here for years?
That's what they're saying. Okay, so let me throw a theory. This is a conspiracy. I'm going to say this right now. This is a conspiracy.
This is tinfoil. I'm ready.
This is a conspiracy, and I'm not promoting this. I'm just like,
I am. Go ahead.
I don't believe this even. I'm just saying like maybe. So I will say that I believe. I don't have any proof. I don't have any proof. This is just something that my gut says is true. October, what day was the attack?
7th.
7th. I believe that the governments of both the United States and Israel knew that this was coming, and I believe that they allowed it to happen in order to finish this land issue that they've been having for 60, 70, 80 years now, finish it once and for all. This would, if this was around June, and the Hasids, obviously have a connection to Israel, maybe they know some people there. Obviously, there was going to be some blowback with the game theory with all of the diversity that's in New York, let's say. And they go, you need to have some escape routes planned because there's going to be this thing that happens. You need to be ready. You need to be able to mobilize and move around. And we've seen places in New York, delis, just like people running businesses get occupied with people holding Palestinian flags. There was a guy who I think was held up in a synagogue as well. I don't believe this. I don't not believe it. I'm just saying, like, is it possible that they got some sort of inside info that this was going to happen and you need to prepare yourself to be able to move around during this time safely?
Unlikely because of October 7th, but I just think that anti-Semitism has been on the rise. There's been, there was a pretty bad synagogue shooting. I can't remember, maybe 7 years ago in Poway, which is kind of where I'm from, San Diego.
Yeah, there's one there
one
too.
in Philadelphia. Was it Philly?
Pittsburgh, I think. Yeah.
Pittsburgh. Yeah. Somewhere in Pennsylvania. So, I mean, this sort of stuff has been popping up all over the country and world, but way before October 7th. There was certainly a rise. So I think that maybe that was in response to that. And then obviously when October 7th happened, they're like, okay.
Well, hang on a second, because if we're taking the 6-month timeline here of like these tunnels are 6 months old, then that would kind of, I mean, the shooting was before that. You would think like if they were that concerned, they would have got to work much earlier, years ago.
I think they've been there for years.
Okay.
I don't know. You're saying 6 months. I don't know. I haven't read much on it, to be honest with you. I think it's probably older than 6 months. 6 months seems to be kind of random. They probably started construction on these, I would say, probably for the last few years, if I were to make a guess.
Yeah.
Because they're afraid, dude. Like, you got to think, like, these people were especially hit hard by the Holocaust. They are very concerned about another Holocaust. And there's not many Jews, let alone Hasidic Jews, left. They're not leaving anything to chance. So they're just like, okay. And maybe there were incidences that we just didn't hear about, in the community. There was kerfuffles with white people, black people, Muslim people, who knows? And they're just like, dude, we're getting hit. We're getting egged. We're getting robbed, whatever the case were, swastikas. I mean, that happens periodically with just like random swastikas. There was one in St. Pete on the Museum of Tolerance in St. Like, this stuff happens. And so I can imagine that they're afraid. And so this is just a way that they can protect themselves.
Whatever happened with that? I keep meaning to check back on these crimes because I want to, it seems like a lot of the times they end up being perpetrated by the person who reported it. You know what I mean?
Like, yeah. Like some false flag sort of stuff. Yeah.
Yes. Many examples.
That's cute. I like a good false flag. I don't know what you call it. Terrorism attack. I don't know.
There was this professor at University of Tampa, and this happened years ago. I'm going to say probably right after like 2016, 2017. And it was a black dude. He was a professor at University of Tampa. And I remember he had his car vandalized. He had his car. Obviously, there were certain words that started with an N written all over it. And it was in the Tampa Bay Times. I cannot find that story archived anywhere. And I can't remember his name. And I have a feeling that was one of those that, oops, it was actually him. And then they just like
UC Smollett kind of thing.
Yes, a Smollett situation, and the OG. I don't know, by the way. Maybe this, there was some conclusion. I don't know, but it seems odd that you wouldn't be able to find it on Google. You know what I mean? Using those keywords.
Yeah, you should be able to find most things, especially if it's online. I think it would live there forever, but maybe someone has taken initiative to get it removed for some reason. So
That's what I'm curious about. And then and I remember seeing the swastika on the Holocaust Museum, I believe it was, here in downtown St. Pete, and never heard any sort of conclusion with that one either.
I honestly didn't follow too closely, but what was that? I think that was when I was still working at the Bone. So that was what, like 4 years ago? It was a while ago. I remember seeing them cleaning it up I think I drove by for some reason.
I don't have any conception of time, but my internal clock, which could be absolutely wrong, is right maybe into Donald Trump's first term, right when that first started.
Oh, really? 2016?
17 is what I want to say.
Maybe.
How do I search this online to make sure I'm
swastika Museum of Tolerance, like some vandalized? So, because I'm thinking like it was maybe 2019, 2020 even, like, was it in response to COVID? They thought the Jews were responsible for that as well. I don't know.
Florida Holocaust Museum vandalized. That was 2021.
Whoa, dude, time is warped. I'm like, was that 18 years ago or last month? I don't know.
Let's see. Let me pull this up here. Yeah. All right. Let's take a look about this. See if they have a graffiti at Holocaust Museum being investigated as hate crime. Anti-Semitic graffiti around 4 a.m. Let's see. I don't even show it
out.
Come on, man.
What's the point of the picture? I don't know.
Oh my God. So I think that I could probably reach out to the police spokesman. Doesn't look like anything ever came of it. This is just the story.
Yeah. You would think like the Museum of Tolerance would have like cameras around them or something.
They did, but I guess they weren't that good. It's just like the ones on, they can find anybody from January 6th, even if they were wearing masks, but they can't find that bomber that left the bombs outside of the RNC and the DNC. For some reason, they can't find that person. It's weird. It feels like they find who they want to find.
Yeah, that's really interesting. It seems to be very convenient when the cameras aren't working or clear, or when someone kills themselves. Very bizarre.
It's odd. It's odd.
Sure is.
I do find some irony in the fact too that these tunnels, in Gaza right now, the Israel forces are sealing up tunnels made by Hamas.
Yeah.
It's just the juxtaposition.
Ironic, yeah. I feel like the Hasidic Jews are they're just trying to live, man. They're not trying to massacre. But is the different? But yes, it is, because I had to read that twice. I'm like, are these Hamas tunnels? Oh no, it's Hasidic Jew Williamsburg tunnels. This is interesting. This is a twist. So,
yeah, this says. I'm trying to find. I still can't find any answers. I'm trying to Google on the go here. New York Post says cops clash with. There's a riot there. There's some things happening in video.
Oh God.
Tunnel there.
Dude, this reminds me of like, what was that? It looks like Waco. It's like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like David Koresh and all his silly followers against the feds. Like,
yeah. Reach a shuttered woman's ritual bath.
The mikvah?
A shuttered woman's ritual bath. Yeah, that's what this says here. And then they all kind of freaked out.
Yeah.
It doesn't say how long the tunnels had been there, but I did see that tweet that you were talking about.
For about a year. Wait, go up. For about a year. What does it say?
For about a year.
The private mikvah. That's the bath. Okay.
That's the bath. Okay. So
okay. So they were using that as like a starting point and then just kept digging.
Continuing to go.
They got a lot of time on their hands. I'll tell you that much.
We sure do. That's why I wonder, like, it doesn't seem like that long. It seems like that. Well, maybe it's not that passerway, women's prayer section, former men's bath.
Oh, so that's it? It was just one little tunnel?
I kind of thought that it was a little bigger than this, but it looks like it's just that one block there.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, can we just give them a tunnel? I mean, is that really so bad? So much has been taken from these people. Just give them the tunnel.
I think it's more of a safety issue.
I know, but give him the tunnel. Come
I'm not-
on, man. They've been working so hard on that tunnel. Poor guys digging away. I mean, could you imagine just like, I mean, how much can you really chip away at what is that even made of? Like limestone, concrete? I don't even know.
I don't know. I mean, obviously they have semi penetrable ground there. I mean, here in Florida we got limestone, which is, much harder, but obviously everywhere up there they have basements. You can kind of dig pretty far.
Yeah.
Now, obviously they have a subway, so it's not, I guess it's just like no like reinforcing of the tunnel.
I wonder
Or
who
maybe
Michael Cohen was of that group that let out the secret. You know what I mean? Because Williamsburg, I feel like that's where the Hasidic Jews are. They live. Like, not saying that the cops don't go there, but like, how the hell would the cops figure it out unless someone ratted them out? What Judas ratted these people out? Not cool. Not cool.
It's an odd story. And
Yeah.
like I told my buddy Zach, I have no idea. I have no idea. I think that might be the point. We have so much information now online that there's almost noise that gets created because it's too much, and a lot of it is wrong. Obviously, a lot of misinformation or disinformation, whatever you want to call it. And it's not just coming from people online; it's coming from news people who just get something wrong, or they know what they know when they report. But things change, even if it's not nefarious. In many cases, it is. You get to the point where it's like, I have no clue what to believe.
Yeah, what's going on here?
I have no idea. You can only kind of trust your gut, and who knows how many times that's right. So
Right.
I don't know. It was an interesting story. So I did a video about Aaron Rodgers yesterday and Jimmy Kimmel going at it. And I was kind of surprised because I did a poll on my Instagram that who are you, team Jimbo or team Aaron? Aaron. And I would say about 25% of the people voted for Jimbo, which I was like, good. I'm glad I have some diversity in my audience here. I'm talking to people who are, not just one sect, so I was kind of happy to hear that. But I did a video about Aaron Rodgers yesterday and the ongoing battle between Aaron Rodgers. You can check that out right now, by the way. Well, not right now. Let's finish this episode first. WillsYouTube.com, HMB Radio on your favorite podcast app. If you're listening on Radio St. Pete, that's exclusive to HMB Radio. So head over to the podcast app and download that, or WillsYouTube.com. And there's been new developments on that. Aaron Rodgers will no longer appear on the Pat McAfee show.
Oh,
are you sad?
Yes, I love Pat McAfee.
I thought you might like Pat McAfee. Like, I know you don't like. Well, I guess not. You don't like sports at all.
No, we play it on the show every now and again. He seems real cracked out. Like, it's hard for me to even focus on what he's saying because he's on all the cocaine, so it's hard to focus on him because he seems like, I've never seen anyone really stand up and do radio before, and it's frightening. So,
I was thinking about trying it. Is that going to freak you out if I do that?
It'll probably freak me out less. So, online via whatever the StreamYard.
Yeah.
I'm like, he's making me nervous. I don't like that. Why is he? I don't know.
He's very. I don't know. He's just one of these guys that started a podcast and got really popular. He's got he's well known around the league. He was. I don't really know I don't watch the Pat McAfee show myself. I don't really listen to any sort of sports radio at all.
Who's that guy on the right? He looks like a caricature of like a Johnny Bravo.
Yeah, he kind of is. That's AJ Hawk. He's a former linebacker for the Green Bay Packers, former teammate of Aaron Rodgers.
Just square. Everything about him is very rectangular.
Yeah. What do you think of that face? Because I think that would be I think every guy wants that kind of chiseled jaw.
Yeah, it's a very masculine face. I don't know why I find it off-putting.
I do too.
Yeah, it's like the jaw's nice. I don't know. I can't really pinpoint it. I guess he just looks like too much of a meathead, maybe. Doesn't look like he's very smart. He looks like he's for like ramming things. You know what I mean?
Like a Neanderthal.
Yeah, he looks like he's like a worker bee, like he's strong like ox, but I don't know if he's, smart. Like I don't know what's smart. A dolphin.
Yeah, I mean, smart. Yeah. what does that even mean anymore? So they've been fighting, and ESPN, I guess, who owns the rights to the Pat McAfee show, said that he will no longer be appearing, which Pat was kind of the only show that Ron would do.
Right. I know they're buds.
They were bros, and he kind of got exclusives, and that probably helped him. I mean, not that he had his audience before he started doing these Aaron Rodgers, appearances, but I think he was the source, so people would tune in to watch it. I'm sure he got a big bump from that.
Mm-hmm.
It's not because, Jimmy Kimmel is part of ABC. ABC is part of ESPN, or ESPN is part of ABC, I guess, probably. I don't think it's because of the comments necessarily. I think it's because Ron called out one of the executives at ESPN, and I played it yesterday. You can watch it on the clip later, but Pat McAfee covered his mouth oh no.
Yeah.
What have you done?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he's no longer going to be on the show anymore.
Oh, ever again, or just suspended?
I think no longer appear.
What?
No more.
That sucks. I thought it was pretty funny. We watched a little part of the show today. One of the titles of Aaron Rodgers, it was Super Bowl champ, something else. Then it was ayahuasca enthusiast. And I was like, that's pretty funny.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm kind of empathetic to Aaron. I don't know what and even he said yesterday, he's I'm not political. He gets called all the names in the book. He's I'm not a MAGA person. He's I do believe in, consent for your body and what, medical consent for what you do and your doctor agree upon, but I'm not these things. I guess he got accused of being an anti-Semite too, recently. So I don't know. I am sympathetic to that, and especially what has come out with, that leak and the disease and the pandemic. And I think he's right about certain things, and he's probably wrong about other things. And one of the points that Jimmy was making was, well, this guy's just a football player, doesn't know what he's talking about. Okay, but you comment on this stuff all the time too. You're a TV host, so what's the difference here?
Yeah.
You're talking to CDC people on your show, which, okay, they are the, credentialed, approved.
Yeah.
But then there's people that Aaron Rodgers talks to that are, highly educated doctors who know what they're talking about.
Does he have his own podcast, Aaron Rodgers, or something?
No, I don't think he does. I bet you he will delve into that probably when he stops playing football, because he would probably be pretty good at it. But no, I don't think he has a podcast or anything like that. But I would say probably in the near future that will happen.
Funny, in every sense of the word woke, it seems like that is Aaron Rodgers. Not in the way that we use it, but he has a growth mindset. He likes to think for himself. You would think that those are the people that should be called, quote, woke. They're red pilled. They've woken up from the dream of the fantasy reality of everything being oh, the government's great. I have a lot of respect for Aaron Rodgers, and like you said, yeah, he's an athlete, but he's a person with the brain, and the brain seems to be working well. And people are asking him these questions, what do you think about this? Is he just not supposed to say it when he has an opinion about it? And he's kind of somewhat of an activist about it. I don't know. Let the guy talk. Who cares? You don't have to listen to him. Jimmy Kimmel used to be cool, man. Remember when he was on the Man Show?
I know.
Where did that guy go? Bring it back.
He's a freaking dick now.
Yeah, he is.
And, there's this today that kind of jump off the, oh, well, I talked to CDC people. This came out today, that COVID mandates are not based on science, according to Anthony Fauci. I'm going to try to play this video and see what comes up here. A lot of these times it has nothing to do with the story, but let's see.
America's former COVID-19 star, Anthony Fauci, MD, admitted during a congressional hearing that mandates enforced by leaders to prevent spread of the virus may not have been based in science. Dr. Fauci was interviewed by the Select Subcommittee on the Coronavirus Pandemic for around 14 hours over 2 days this week. As part of the committee's investigation, the Congress members asked the former National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases about controversial mandates that went into effect at the start of the pandemic. Congressman Brad Wenstrup, the committee's chair, says that Dr. Fauci was asked about mandates that he and other federal officials promoted, and that he did not have an explanation for them. Wenstrup, who is also a doctor, said of Dr. Fauci's testimony in a statement Wednesday, quote, "The social distancing recommendations forced on Americans sort of just appeared and were likely not based on scientific data."
So what were they based on?
Well, then you kind of go and start making your own conclusions, and you hear about the plans, testing things out for the future of what these lockdowns can do. How much people was it a test run for something? I don't know. Then you kind of
Yeah,
get
like see
media.
how much willing people how you could convince people to comply, you know?
Yeah. So
I don't know.
so it's like the theorists were, I don't think it's fair to even say conspiracy anymore. The people who were claiming some of these things, that this was some sort of inside job or whatever you want to call, I don't know, like whatever words you use will turn
Cover up or
really
conspiracy.
careful. Yeah, you got to be careful of the language you use. Okay, well, it appears those people were right. Then when you start to theorize why, then you immediately get into conspiracy territory again, and it turns people off immediately. Even though you're like, see, I was right about this. Well, okay. Well, some of them won't even believe it, because there's going to be, I'm sure, Politico tomorrow will have, no, Anthony Fauci did not say this, and it'll be fact checked. And what he meant was this. And then they'll play these little word semantic games. And,
Mhm.
then it'll be like, no, see, it was in science, even though apparently it wasn't. Again, like, I don't even know. Like, these outlets have a, no matter what side they're playing, they always have incentive, to
Mhm.
lie. There's money on the line for this. A lot of people don't trust, like the mainstream corporate press. So they've tried to find other sources. I don't know what the messenger is even. So I'm dubious of that outlet. I don't even know what it is, but I don't freaking know anymore. But anyway, so like that's who Jimmy Kimmel was counting on, was this guy. And then they're like, oh yeah, that we kind of just
Yeah,
did
made
that.
it up. So
So there was a lot of credibility that got lost during that time. So, I don't know, and I don't really care. Just leave me alone. That's
yeah,
what I want. And I know that's not going to happen, unfortunately.
I think that should be the title of the podcast.
Just leave me alone.
Just leave me alone.
Okay. I think we can do that.
Mm.
We are getting about that time. It's almost 8:00. Fire Rescue 225. Shout out to HMB Radio. Yep. AJ Hawk, co-host. Yep. Yes, sir. I prefer Mike Hawk. Nice one, Joe. Very good.
Oh, that's yeah, Holyoke Joe. What's up, Joe?
And Anna Phillip says, okay. Lots of Joe. Thanks, Joe, for the comments. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Joe.
I think that's it. 813-693-2124 if you want to get in touch with the program, thehomemadebroadcast@gmail.com. I do have the Substack operational, and I'm going to get that going pretty soon. So I think you can sign up for free. So go to, let me tell you exactly what the Substack, hmbradio.substack.com. You can just click the free subscription for now. I'll probably have some paid stuff behind there pretty soon with some added benefits and all that. So I'd appreciate if you did that. willsyoutube.com, HMB Radio on your favorite podcast app for extra content, and home_made_man, Instagram and Twitter. So appreciate that. Thank you, Anna. Anything you want to, you're not doing social still. So
no socials. We got Big Barp this weekend. The
nice.
Annual festivities of all the Bubba Army royalty. So we're very excited about that. Oh, thanks, Rob W. I appreciate that. So yes, I'm excited to see. I know there's a few people in chat that are big Bubba Army people. So hopefully I'll be seeing you this weekend.
Yeah, I think Rob was talking to me, Anna, but I appreciate. Anna, home pass. There we go.
It's not all about you, Anna. I'm like, thanks. Yes. Will, I see. I didn't see the will part. I just thought it was like 50 exclamation points. That's what I thought in my head. Okay. Sorry I stole that from you, Will. That was for you.
Not a problem. So I do have some news with that. I will be joining. If this came on podcast, it's too late. But on Friday, the what is that? The 12th, from 6 to 8, I'll be sitting in with a cat named Mo on the Cat Named Mo show.
That's exciting.
That should be fun. I'm gonna bring some whiskey.
Did he? How did he ask you to? Did he just text you or?
Been so much drama going on at that freaking night. The everybody else seems fine, but the nighttime shows it's a calamity.
Yes, I heard about the Spike situation.
Leaving now. Spike's mad at Mo and is not on the show right now. I think he'll be back. I don't think he's kicked off or anything, but obviously I left the Johnny B show and Johnny's doing his thing now. So, yeah, I don't know if I'll run into Johnny on Friday. That should be interesting if the crossover happens. I don't know. I know he's also got Sunshine City Comedy Festival this weekend, so he might not be on the air on Friday, but maybe I'll just hijack that 2 hours. I don't know. It might be fun. 8 to 10, host the Johnny B show without his knowledge. No, I'm just kidding. I won't do that. All right. Well, very good. So that should be fun. And Maria says, hi, Anna. She loves you.
What's up, Maria?
And
oh,
then,
you guys are so sweet. Oh, yeah, I do. I'm the Cat Named Mo's biggest fan. Everybody knows that. So
that's right. That's right. Me too. Me too. So it should be fun. I hope it's not a disaster. We'll see.
No, it'll be good. I think you and Mo will work well together. And Mo loves to disturb drama. So I know you know that. So have fun with that. Try not to burn every bridge you've ever made.
Yeah, I'm going to try not to. I mean, I am going to bring some whiskey with me. So.
Oh, that'll help.
Maybe it will. I don't know. I think it might.
Okay.
Just can't get too crazy.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna be in the middle of Barb festivities, but I'm gonna try to catch that first hour for sure. So.
Well, very good. Anna Hummel, thank you. And I'll talk to you. Actually, I think next week might be an issue.
Oh.
I might have to take next week off, but I'll keep you more posted about that later. Anyway.
Yep. I know you're in the process of moving. So
I think next week's the big. I should be out by this coming next week. I guess I'll be out and into the new studio and whatever. We'll see what happens.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yep. Thank you. Goodbye.
There she goes. Anna Hummel, everybody. Thank you for joining me tonight. That was fun. Not sure what's going on with the Jew tunnels, but I can't wait to learn more. And thank you to honest people for tuning in. And thanks to my people for tuning in. And it's nice that we can make a nice little soup. Everybody's going to get to know each other in the pot. That's what I say. So get in touch with me. Go subscribe to the Substack. Subscribe here. Hit the bell. Share it with a friend. I'd really appreciate that. So talk to you. I'll have a video out tomorrow. Yes, willsyoutube.com. Talk then.